Protesters and riot police have clashed in Melbourne overnight outside an event hosted by far-right Canadian speaker Lauren Southern.
So here's the media being part of the problem by labeling Lauren Southern and people like her as far-right. In other words, they're extremists. And for people that are naive, people that are easily manipulated, that's going to get these people worked up to do stupid things and say stupid things because they're too dumb to do their own research and find out who these people really are. It's just trying to shut somebody down using this term far right, just like using the term racist, using the term Nazi. And this is what the media is doing. And you'll notice later on when they talk about Antifa, this far left violent organization, they're just going to say protesters. That's all they're going to say. They're just going to call them protesters. But for people who believe in values such as freedom of speech, like what's going on in England with Free Tommy Robinson, people fighting the government prohibiting freedom of speech and freedom of press, well, those people are far right. Me, I'm far right. Why? Because I believe in freedom of speech and I am vocal about it. I'm outspoken about it. So it doesn't matter that I'm an atheist, which is pretty unusual to be far right when you're an atheist. Doesn't matter that I voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016, although that's kind of weird to be far right. Doesn't matter what I think about income equality or issues on the death penalty or issues on abortion or a million opinions on a million issues. None of that matters. Since I'm an advocate for free speech, that means I am far right. I am an extremist according to this very dishonest media coverage.
Hey, Lauren, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide. Hey, Lauren, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide. Hey, Lauren, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide.
Adolf Hitler was responsible for the death of 6 million Jews. Lauren Southern is responsible for the hurt feelings of 6 million snowflakes. Those are not the same thing.
No Nazis! Never again! No Nazis! Never again! No Nazis! Fuck up Nazis! Fuck up! Fuck up Nazis! Fuck up!
Nothing like seeing a group of people acting like Nazis saying, "Fuck off Nazis."
More than 100 people chanted slogans and shut down a major highway outside the venue at Somerton in Melbourne's north.
100 people, which isn't that many, but once again, 100 people. Not far left. No. Just 100 people. And they shut down a major expressway? How is that allowed to happen? That is a serious failure of organized law enforcement.
Ms Southern is known for her controversial views on multiculturalism, feminism and Islam.
Oh yeah, controversial views, like it's okay to be white and Enlightenment values should be preserved and protected.
No hate, no fear. Nazis are not welcome here. No hate, no fear. Nazis are not welcome here. No hate.
Victoria Police are reportedly charging Ms Southern over $60,000 for their presence at the event. No arrests were made.
No arrests were made. No arrests. These people shut down a major expressway and no arrests were made. They're harassing people. They're shoving police officers and no arrests were made. And then they're going to try to charge Lauren Southern with the police bill. What does she have to do with this? Charge the media. Charge the group known as Antifa, the ones causing the problems, the ones shutting down the expressway, the ones harassing people coming to the event. What are you sending her the bill for? And who is it really protecting? There were 100 of this Antifa bozos. There were 800 people at the event of Lauren Southern. This wasn't to protect them. The police actually protected Antifa. The average Antifa member is a 99-pound white girl. Okay, these people, you've seen the footage of how weak these people are. The police protected them. If the police weren't there and these two crowds met, Antifa would have had the living crap knocked out of them. So why is she getting the bill? So a handful of these idiots decide to try to stop a bus from backing up. My money's on the bus. And there you have it. That is a typical member of Antifa. Someone completely naive, someone gullible, someone easily manipulated and trainable like a parrot to just repeat a phrase over and over again. I love refugees. Well, guess what? A lot of refugees don't love you. You want more Muslims? Well, guess what? A lot of these Muslims don't love you. Just because somebody's escaping from a war-torn country doesn't mean that they're a good person. It doesn't mean they won't commit crimes and put citizens in danger. It doesn't mean they won't cause division in your society. So what you do is you have something called a vetting process to make sure people that are coming in, they don't try to make the country adopt their culture. They adopt the culture of the country that's opening their arms and welcoming them in. It's really not an extremist stance to take. But now let's take a look at part of this event to see some of this extremism that we heard about. So here's a clip.
For example, the Australian government suggests that your identity should not be based on culture, but instead on values. Even on its face, this proposal seems a little half-baked, because aren't values themselves, in fact, just a facet of culture? Isn't this just a reiteration of the statement that, indeed, Australian identity is based on culture? If you literally look at the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of culture, it says it is the shared set of values. So how can they say that your identity is based not on culture but on values? It's the exact same thing. So furthermore, the values listed by the Australian government, freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and equality of opportunity, not only are these values themselves forms of culture, but they are characteristic of one culture, and one culture only, and that is Western culture.
Oh my gosh, she got into the definitions of values and culture. It was just like watching Adolf Hitler. Seriously, why is she bringing this up? Well, because of this term, multiculturalism, which in a sense is a wonderful thing when you talk about different foods, different music, different art, different philosophy coming from these different cultures. Yes, that's multiculturalism. But when you talk about the foundation of your country, when you talk about values such as secularism, freedom of religion, no persecution and no special privileges based on religious belief, civil law is the law of the land. Civil law will always be above religious law. When you look at these values, they do make up a culture. And you can't just say, oh, well, we don't care about culture and we just adopt any culture. We're talking about values that came from the Enlightenment and then were adopted by Western civilizations. But these are philosophical. And you can certainly find in at least ancient philosophy of Eastern civilizations some of these same concepts, but how widely it was adopted. But once again, values that make up the foundation of your civilization, these are non-negotiable. And if you come to the country, you have to adopt this collection of values that is, yes, a culture. Now, is that racist? Is that extremist? Of course it isn't. It's a discussion, and people are free to disagree. Lauren Southern, she's been on interviews, she's done videos. You can take clips of her. You can make your own video where you interject, just like I did with this video, and you criticize, you disagree. When she has an event, you can have a counter event with different speakers having different things. But when you just go out and you shut down major expressways and you're violent towards people, well, at least when you outnumber them 10-1, you're violent towards people. When you're banging on buses, when you're harassing people, when you're shoving police officers, all that means is you're lazy and you're an idiot. That's all that means. And that only serves to strengthen people like Lauren Southern, because people see that behavior, they're so outraged by it that they wind up joining, they wind up giving money, they wind up being new customers for Lauren Southern. So I guess for these people, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. But for the media, these are violent, far leftist. Why aren't you labeling them as such? And why are the police using kid gloves with these people and sending Lauren the bill for the police? Just beyond ridiculous. I mean, just insanity, what's going on. Anyway, this is Jim Wall. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Cisco, do we have to leave all our good friends now? Only until next time, Pancho. Adios, amigos.